Today we're talking about all things simultaneous extraction and placement hair transplant. Let's go! Hi, I'm Dr. Parsa Mohebi, a hair transplant surgeon based on Los Angeles and San Francisco. Today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about simultaneous extraction and placement FUE hair transplant, which is one of the most advanced techniques of hair restoration surgery. Simultaneous extraction and placement hair transplant is when we remove the grafts and place at almost the same time. So we don't delay the grafts, we don't keep them out of the body for a long time, and we take advantage of the short time between the grafts coming out and going back in to improve the viability of the grafts. Simultaneous extraction and placement hair transplant has a few different benefits. One is that the grafts obviously won't stay out for a long time. So as we are doing this procedure, the old method hair transplant, we used to remove every single graft. We cut them under microscope, and then while the grafts are sitting out, the surgeon is making sites, and then we start placing the grafts. So sometimes the grafts had to stay out for like 6-7 hours, which obviously will reduce the survival rate of the grafts. Now we make the sites first, and then as the grafts are going out, a team of people work on patient's head at the same time. As I'm extracting the grafts one at a time under microscope, my team is placing the grafts into the holes that are already made. So that minimizes the time that grafts are staying out of the body. Also, we have to keep changing patient's position because we have to move from one side to the other side, so patients won't stay in the same position for a long time. And oftentimes that shortens the procedure, so we can have either bigger number of procedure in one day, bigger number of graft transplanted in one day, or we can have a shorter procedure for the same number of grafts. Graft hair transplant follicular unit grafts, if you look at them under microscope, they're very flimsy. They just have a few layers of cells around them, so they're very prone to heat and alteration of the temperature. They could be getting dry real fast, and manipulation, trauma to them could actually kill them easily. So they may not be as viable as when we just get them out of the body. So for that reason, we need to put them back in as soon as possible, and that's why we came up with this method. One of the devices that we use for simultaneous extraction and placement is called Mohebi inserter. That's a type of implanter that I invented when I was trying to figure out what's the best method of placing the grafts while we're extracting them. So if you look at the patient's head and how 4 people or 3 people should be working together around patient's head, you see that there's not much space. And if you want to use the older methods, the older implantations or forceps placement, first of all, you can damage the graft. Second of all, you need a big number of people working together to load the grafts and place them. We don't have that much space. In order to be able to work one person at a time, but the person can only use one hand, we use long range loupes for the technicians that are loading and placing the grafts, and each person can load their own graft and place them with only one hand into the sites that they already made. That minimizes the space that they need, and that makes it more efficient for one person to be able to do everything themselves and be part of the team that are placing the grafts as they are being extracted. I hope I was able to answer all your questions about simultaneous extraction and placement hair transplant. If you have any other questions, feel free to send them in the comment section, and don't forget to follow us on social media.